Welcome back to the channel, where we dive into the world of coins, cash, collectibles, and hidden treasures that could be sitting right in your pocket right now. Rarest Coins. Today's video is going to change how you look at loose change forever because we're talking about a coin that seems so ordinary, yet under the right conditions, it could be worth a life-changing amount of money. That coin is the 1984 D Washington quarter. You probably have one sitting in your coin jar or even lying around your house. But did you know that one of these quarters reportedly sold for an astonishing $1.5 million? That's right, a 25-cent coin that turned out to be a hidden fortune. So let's break it down. What makes the 1984 D quarter special? Why would anyone pay that much money for a coin you can still find in pocket change? And how can you tell if you have one that might be worth a small fortune? Let's get into it. First, let's talk about the history of the Washington quarter. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The obverse of the coin, which means the front side, features the famous portrait of Washington designed by sculptor John Flanagan. That design stayed largely the same for decades and became one of the most recognized coin faces in America. Now let's jump to the year 1984. In 1984, the Denver Mint struck over 521 million quarters. That's a huge number, and at face value, the 1984 D Washington quarter is one of the most common coins out there. You'll see the D Mint mark just to the right of Washington's ponytail, which tells you it was produced at the Denver Mint. Most of these coins are still only worth 25 cents. But here's the twist. A small number of 1984 D quarters have rare features or errors that make them worth a whole lot more. And in one extraordinary case, a coin from this very year reportedly sold for $1.5 million. Let's talk about how that's even possible. So what are collectors looking for in a 1984 D quarter? First, and most importantly, condition. Coin grading is done on a scale from 1 to 70. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. Coins that have never been circulated, that still shine with their original luster and show zero wear, are called mint state coins. A mint state coin graded 68, 69, or even 70 is extremely rare, especially for older coins that were made for everyday use. Almost all coins that go into circulation pick up scratches, dings, and wear marks pretty quickly. So if you find a 1984 D quarter in perfect or near perfect condition, you might already be holding something worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But condition isn't the only thing that matters. The real jackpot comes from rare mint errors. Let me explain. When coins are made, they go through a process where a blank metal disc called a planchet is struck with high pressure between two dies. But sometimes, things go wrong at the mint. A coin might be struck off-center, it might be struck multiple times, or it might even be struck on the wrong metal planchet. These are called minting errors, and serious collectors will pay big money for rare and unusual ones. In the case of the 1984 D quarter, the $1 million coin reportedly had a combination of factors that made it truly one of a kind. It had an extremely rare double die error, where part of the design appears doubled due to a misalignment during the die-making process. On top of that, it was in pristine condition, likely graded as a mint state 70 by one of the major grading services like PCGS or NGC. The result was a coin so rare, so flawless, and so historically unique that it fetched a jaw-dropping price at auction, reportedly $1.5 million. Now, of course, not every 1984 D quarter is going to be worth that much. But there are definitely coins from that year that are worth far more than their face value. Let's talk about what to look for. Start by checking the date and the mint mark. Make sure it's a 1984 quarter with the D for Denver. Then inspect the coin carefully. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to look at the details, especially around the words Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date. Look for doubling, which will appear like a shadow or second image next to the letters and numbers. Also, check the edges of the coin. Is it off-center? Is the edge thicker or thinner than normal? Are the reeds, those little ridges, uneven? If something looks unusual or the coin appears to be in extremely good condition, the next step is to get it professionally graded. There are two main grading companies that serious collectors use: PCGS, which stands for Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, which is the Numismatic Guarantee Company. You can send your coin to them for evaluation. They'll determine the authenticity, the grade, and whether there are any mint errors. If your coin checks out and gets a high grade or is confirmed to have a major error, it could be worth serious money. Even without a huge error, a 1984 D quarter in mint state 67 or 68 can be worth anywhere from $50 to several $100s, depending on the market. And with a rare error or a top-tier grade, the sky's the limit. Now let's recap. The 1984 D Washington quarter was minted in large numbers and is still common today. But rare examples in perfect condition or with dramatic mint errors can be worth a fortune. One such coin, combining a double die error and pristine condition, was reportedly sold for an incredible $1.5 million. So yes, it is absolutely worth checking your spare change. Remember, these valuable coins aren't always flashy or shiny. Sometimes they look ordinary on the outside, but it's the details that make them special. Take your time, study your coins, and if something seems off, don't dismiss it. That small difference could mean the difference between 25 cents and a life-changing amount of money. That if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos about rare coins, collecting tips, and true stories of valuable finds. We upload new content regularly to help you spot valuable coins hiding in plain sight. And let us know in the comments, have you ever found a rare or valuable coin in your pocket change? We love hearing your stories, and who knows, maybe your coin will be the next $1 million find. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep hunting and happy collecting. Let me know if you want this script turned into a downloadable document, or if you'd like help with a title, description, tags, or thumbnail ideas for the YouTube video. Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the surprising value hidden in everyday pocket change. Rarest Coins. Today's video is all about a coin that might be sitting quietly in your jar, your glove box, or your wallet right now. And yet, under the right circumstances, it could be worth over $1 million. That's right. We're talking about the 1992 D Washington quarter. One of these coins reportedly sold for an incredible $1.1 million. Sounds unbelievable? Well, stick around, because we're going to dig into the full story, the history of the coin, how it became so valuable, and how you can tell if you might be holding one of the rarest modern quarters in existence. Let's start with the basics. The Washington quarter has been one of the most iconic pieces of American currency since it was first introduced in 1932. The design was created by sculptor John Flanagan, and it features a bust of George Washington on the front, or obverse, of the coin. For decades, the reverse of the quarter showed an eagle with its wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath, a symbol of peace and strength. By 1992, this classic design was still in use. It wouldn't be until 1999 that the state quarters program would begin, introducing new designs each year. So in 1992, things were still traditional. The Denver Mint, which marks its coins with a small letter D just to the right of Washington's ponytail, produced over 389 million Washington quarters that year. That's a massive number, and it means most 1992 D quarters are still worth face value, just 25 cents. But here's where it gets interesting. In the world of coin collecting, not all coins are created equal. Some coins, even from common years, are hiding valuable secrets. It all comes down to three major factors: rarity, condition, and minting errors. If a coin hits all three of these points, its value can shoot through the roof. And that's exactly what happened with a rare example of the 1992 D quarter that was reportedly sold for around $1.1 million. What made that particular quarter so valuable? First, let's talk about condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A coin graded 70 is considered a perfect mint state coin, with no flaws visible even under magnification. Most quarters, especially ones that go into circulation, never come close to that level. But when a coin is preserved in flawless, untouched condition from the moment it leaves the mint, it becomes significantly more valuable. High-grade coins, especially those graded mint state 67 or above, can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars on their own. Now combine that perfect condition with a dramatic mint error, and that brings us to the $1 million quarter point. One of the most talked about 1992 D quarters reportedly had an extremely rare and unusual minting error, possibly a double die or a wrong planchet strike. A double die error means the coin's design was accidentally stamped more than once during the die-making process, which causes parts of the coin, like the lettering or the date, to appear doubled. These errors are rare and very popular with collectors. Even rarer are wrong planchet strikes. That's when a coin is struck on a blank mint for another denomination or even a coin from another country. These mistakes don't happen often, and when they do, they're often caught before the coins ever reach the public. But when one slips through, and it's in pristine condition, collectors will pay top dollar for it. In the case of the 1992 D quarter, it's believed that a perfect storm of factors made it so desirable. An extremely rare mint error, a perfect or near-perfect condition, and the fact that it's from a year and mint that wasn't expected to produce anything unusual. All of that combined reportedly led to a private sale that reached a shocking price of $1.1 million. So how do you know if your 1992 D quarter is valuable? First, check the mint mark. You should see a small letter D on the front of the coin, to the right of George Washington's ponytail. That tells you it was minted in Denver. Next, look closely at the coin under a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Pay special attention to the words Liberty and In God We Trust. Look for doubling or unusual patterns in the lettering. Examine the date for any shadows or misalignments. Also, check the edges. Is the coin off-center, unusually thick or thin, or does it have any missing parts? If anything looks unusual or the coin looks brand new even after all these years, it might be worth having it professionally graded. There are two main coin grading companies that serious collectors trust: PCGS, the Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, the Numismatic Guarantee Company. These companies will examine your coin, determine its authenticity and grade, and seal it in a tamper-proof holder. Having your coin graded can dramatically increase its value and make it more appealing to buyers, collectors, or auction houses. Even without a $1 million error, a 1992 D quarter in high mint state condition can still be worth money. For example, coins graded MS67 or higher have been known to sell for several $100s. And the best part? Most people still think these quarters are worth just face value. So what should you do next? Start by checking your change. Look through your coin jar. If you find a 1992 D quarter, take a close look. Even if it doesn't have an obvious error, if it looks brand new or unusually sharp, it could still have value. Every now and then, someone finds one of these rare coins just sitting in a drawer or resting in a pile of spare change. Let's do a quick recap. The 1992 D Washington quarter was minted in large numbers, but a rare combination of factors can turn it into a fortune. Perfect condition, rare minting errors, high collector demand. These are the ingredients that led to a version of this coin selling for around $1.1 million. And while most 1992 D quarters won't be worth more than face value, the few that are rare and well-preserved are absolutely worth hunting for. Before we wrap up, here are a few collector tips. Point 1. Always handle coins by the edges to avoid damaging the surface. 2. Store high-quality coins in protective holders or coin flips. 3. Learn the signs of minting errors so you can spot them quickly. And 4. Stay curious. Some of the most valuable coins in history were found by people who simply decided to look a little closer. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos about rare coins, valuable currency, and coin collecting tips. We share real stories, real values, and practical advice to help you become a more informed collector. Leave a comment below if you've ever found a valuable coin or if you think you have a rare 1992 D quarter. Who knows? Your story could be the next one we feature. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep searching, stay sharp, and happy collecting. Let me know if you want me to create a matching YouTube title, description, keywords, and thumbnail idea for this video as well. Welcome back to the channel where we explore the hidden treasures in your pocket change, the fascinating stories behind everyday coins, and how a simple quarter could end up being worth a small fortune. Today's video is all about the 1991 P Washington quarter. That's right, the quarter from 1991 with a P mint mark that most people don't think twice about. But what if I told you that one of these coins reportedly sold for a jaw-dropping $1.2 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? But as you're about to find out, this isn't just a collector's fantasy. In rare cases, coins like the 1991 P Washington quarter can become incredibly valuable due to a combination of factors like minting errors, rarity, and pristine condition. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, You'll know exactly what to look for and how to tell if the spare change sitting in your car cup holder might actually be worth more than most people's mortgage. Let's start with the history. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since 1932. It was originally introduced to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, and the design features his profile on the front, created by sculptor John Flanagan. For decades, the reverse side of the quarter showcased an eagle with outstretched wings, perched on a bundle of arrows, a classic image of strength and freedom. BY 1991, the quarter hadn't yet been updated with the State or America the Beautiful series designs. It still carried the original eagle reverse, and most of the quarters that year were produced for regular circulation. The Philadelphia Mint, which uses the P Mint mark, struck over 570 million quarters in 1991. So on the surface, this coin seems very common. But here's where things get interesting. Even though the 1991 P quarter was mass-produced, there are rare versions out there that are worth far more than face value. In fact, one particular example reportedly sold for around $1.2 million due to a stunning combination of features that made it one of the most unique Washington quarters ever discovered. What made this coin so valuable? Let's break it down. There are three major factors that can turn a common coin into a collector's dream. First is rarity. Second is condition. And third is minting errors. When all three of these elements come together in one coin, the value can skyrocket. Let's start with minting errors. The most valuable 1991 P quarters are the ones with major die errors, off-metal strikes, double dies, or coins struck on the wrong planchet. For example, if a quarter was accidentally struck on a planchet meant for a different denomination, like a nickel, penny, or even a foreign coin, it creates a rare error coin. If this happened at the Philadelphia Mint in 1991 and the error went undetected, that coin could be worth thousands or even more depending on how rare the error is. There are also double die errors, where parts of the coin's design appear doubled due to a misalignment during the die-making process. If you find a 1991 P quarter where the lettering or numbers look slightly shadowed or duplicated, especially around the words Liberty or In God We Trust, that could be a double die, and it might be worth sending to a grading service. Now let's talk about condition. Most quarters from 1991 have been in circulation for decades. They've been scratched, dropped, worn down, and passed through countless hands. That makes uncirculated examples much rarer. If you happen to find a 1991 P quarter that looks shiny, crisp, and basically brand new, you might have something special. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. The higher the grade, the higher the value. The $1 million coin? It wasn't just a random quarter. It was in near-perfect condition, likely graded as a mint state 70, with an extraordinary minting error that made it completely unique. Combine that with high collector demand, and it reportedly sold at auction for $1.2 million. That's why collectors always say, check your change. How do you know if your 1991 P quarter is worth anything? Here's what to do. First, find the P Mint mark on the right side of George Washington's ponytail. Then, inspect the coin closely using a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look at the letters and numbers. Is there any doubling? Does the coin look off-center or unusually thick or thin? Flip it over and check the eagle's wings and the edge of the coin for anything unusual. If the coin looks flawless or has a strange error, it's time to get it graded. The two major grading companies are PCGS, the Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, the Numismatic Guarantee Company. These organizations will authenticate your coin, grade it, and seal it in a tamper-proof case. This adds major value if you ever want to sell the coin to a collector or through an auction house. Even if your coin doesn't have a major error, a 1991 P quarter in mint state condition can still fetch a good amount. For example, a regular 1991 P quarter graded MS67 has been known to sell for between $100 to $300. But if it's graded even higher, say MS68 or above, the value jumps significantly. And if you're lucky enough to have a unique error in high grade, you could be looking at thousands, tens of thousands, or in extremely rare cases like the one reported, over $1 million to SO. What's the takeaway? The 1991 P Washington quarter is a coin most people overlook. But under the right circumstances, it can be worth more than anyone ever imagined. Whether it's due to a rare error, a perfect mint state, or being one of a kind, This ordinary-looking coin has made headlines for extraordinary reasons. The key is knowing what to look for, and now you do. Before we wrap up, here are a few quick tips. Point 1. Always handle coins by the edges to avoid fingerprints and damage. 2. Store high-quality coins in holders or protective flips. And 3. Keep learning. The more you know about coins, the better your chances of spotting that one special find. And if you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more content about rare coins, collectible currency, and money you never knew you had. We upload regularly and love sharing the thrill of coin hunting with viewers around the world. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or think you have something special. You never know, your story could be the next one we feature. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep your eyes on your change and happy collecting. Let me know if you'd like help writing the YouTube description, title ideas, tags, or even a thumbnail concept to go along with this video. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you love coins, collectibles, and the thrill of finding hidden treasures in your pocket change, then you're in the right place. Today's video is going to blow your mind because we're diving into the incredible story of a coin that many people overlook every single day, the 1995 D. Washington quarter dollar. Believe it or not, one of these coins reportedly sold for a staggering $1.4 million. That's right. A quarter that's only worth 25 cents face value turned into a life-changing fortune for one lucky collector. So grab your coin jars and check your pockets, because after this video, you might just want to take a closer look at your spare change. Let's start with a little history. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The design, created by John Flanagan, features a profile of Washington on the obverse, or front, of the coin. The reverse design has gone through several changes over the decades, but in 1995, it still featured the traditional eagle with outstretched wings. Now, let's zoom in on the 1995 D. Washington quarter. The D stands for the Denver Mint, which produced over 1.1 billion quarters that year. That's right, billion with a B. So at first glance, this coin seems extremely common, and for the most part, it is. Most of these coins are only worth their face value. You can find them in pocket change, at the bank, in circulation, and in coin rolls. So why would anyone pay $1.4 million for a coin like that? Here's where it gets interesting. In the world of coin collecting, it's all about rarity, condition, and errors. If a coin is extremely rare or has a dramatic minting error that occurred during production, it can become incredibly valuable. Combine that with a flawless condition, and suddenly you've got something that serious collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. So let's talk about what makes a 1995 D quarter special. First, mint errors. There have been reports of 1995 D quarters with striking issues, things like double dies, off-center strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchet. These types of errors are rare, but they do happen. If you happen to find a 1995 D quarter with one of these errors, you're looking at a coin that could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the severity and how rare that specific error is. But what about the million-dollar coin? According to various sources, a rare example of a 1995 D. Washington quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition with a dramatic error, possibly a double die obverse or another extreme anomaly, reportedly sold for around $1.4 million in a private auction. Now, while that specific sale isn't always verified in public auction records, it's not entirely impossible. We've seen coins sell for mind-blowing prices in the past when collectors go head-to-head for a unique specimen. It's important to understand that those record-breaking sales often happen in very specific cases, like the coin being graded a perfect 70 by a top grading service, or it being the only known example of a specific error. How do you know if your 1995 D quarter is worth anything? The first thing to do is examine it closely. Grab a magnifying glass and look at the date, the mint mark, and the details on Washington's face. Look for signs of doubling, especially around the letters and numbers. Look at the edges to see if anything seems off. If the coin looks strange, thicker, thinner, off-centered, or has any kind of unusual pattern or texture, it might be an error coin. Next, check the condition. If your quarter has never been used in circulation, if it still has its original luster and shows zero signs of wear, it could be considered mint state. The higher the grade, the more valuable it becomes. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. Very few coins ever achieve that level of perfection that if you think you've got something special, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate, grade, and encapsulate your coin, which is essential if you ever want to sell it to a serious collector or at an auction. So let's recap. Most 1995 D. Washington quarters are common and only worth 25 cents. But rare examples with dramatic mint errors or those in flawless condition can be worth a lot more. In rare cases, extremely high-grade coins with unique features can bring in prices over $1 million. It all comes down to condition, rarity, and collector demand. The lesson here? Never underestimate your spare change. That ordinary-looking quarter in your pocket might just be your golden ticket. Before we wrap up, I want to remind you to always handle coins carefully. Hold them by the edges and avoid touching the faces, especially if they look uncirculated. Store them in a cool, dry place and consider using coin flips or capsules to keep them safe. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more coin stories, rare finds, and insider tips on building your collection. Drop a comment below and let us know if you've ever found a valuable coin in your change. We love hearing your stories. Thanks for watching and happy collecting. Would you like me to turn this into a YouTube description or provide SEO-optimized tags too? Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of coins once again, and we've got an amazing story that could literally change the way you look at pocket change forever. We're talking about the 1997 P. Washington quarter. That's right, a simple 25-cent coin that was minted not that long ago, and yet, under the right conditions, can be worth thousands or even millions of dollars. In fact, one special 1997 P quarter reportedly sold for an unbelievable $1.3 million. Sounds crazy, right? But stay tuned because we're going to break down the full story, the history of the coin, what makes it valuable, and how to find one that might be worth serious money. Let's start with the basics. The Washington quarter is one of the most recognized coins in the United States. First introduced in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday, the design has remained iconic. The obverse or front of the coin features the bust of President George Washington, originally designed by John Flanagan. For decades, the reverse featured an eagle with outstretched wings, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches underneath, a symbol of strength and peace. Now, fast forward to 1997. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 595 million Washington quarters that year with the P Mint mark. That's a huge number, and it means that the vast majority of these coins are very common. Most of them are still worth only their face value, 25 cents. You can still find them in circulation today, and chances are you've probably seen dozens without giving them a second thought. What makes the 1997 P quarter so special? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and most importantly, minting errors. In the world of coin collecting or numismatics, a coin's value can skyrocket if it has a rare and significant error or if it's in an exceptionally high grade. Let's take a closer look at these factors, starting with errors. Some 1997 P quarters have been found with striking errors that make them extremely valuable to collectors. We're talking about coins that were misaligned during the minting process, coins that were double struck, coins that were struck on the wrong planchet, or even coins that display doubling in the design or lettering. These types of errors don't happen often, and when they do, they're usually caught before the coins leave the mint. But every now and then, a few make it out into the world. One of the most talked about examples of a valuable 1997 P quarter involves a major minting error combined with a pristine, uncirculated condition. According to reports in the numismatic community, a collector discovered a 1997 P quarter with a dramatic die error and submitted it for grading. The coin came back with a near-perfect grade, possibly a mint state 69 or even a perfect 70. That alone is incredibly rare for a business strike coin, which is a coin made for regular circulation. But add a major error on top of that, and suddenly the value shoots through the roof. This particular coin was sold in a private auction for a staggering $1.3 million. Now, you might be wondering, could I have one of these coins? And the answer is maybe. You see, most people don't pay close attention to the coins they use every day. Quarters get tossed in jars, dropped in vending machines, and passed from hand to hand without a second thought. But hidden among the ordinary coins are rare gems that only a trained eye can spot. So here's what you need to do. Grab your magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and start examining your change. Look closely at any 1997 quarters with the P mint mark. Check for errors like doubling, especially around the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or the date. Look at the edge of the coin. Is it thicker on one side? Does it look misaligned or off-center? Does anything about it seem strange or unusual? If you find a coin that looks different, the next step is to get it graded. Contact a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These are the two most trusted names in the business. They will authenticate the coin, assign it a grade from 1 to 70, and encapsulate it in a tamper-proof holder. This is essential if you ever want to sell it to a serious buyer or take it to auction. But even if your coin doesn't have an error, it can still be valuable if it's in near-perfect condition. Coins that have never been circulated still have their original luster and show no signs of wear are considered mint state. A 1997 P quarter in mint state condition can fetch anywhere from a few dollars to several $100s depending on the grade. And here's the kicker. Coin values are constantly changing. As time goes on, more coins get worn down or lost, and the number of high-quality examples shrinks. That means your coin could become even more valuable in the future. Collectors are always on the hunt for rare pieces, and demand can drive prices up fast. So what's the lesson here? Don't ignore your pocket change. That everyday quarter might be hiding a secret that could turn it into a small fortune. Check your coins. Learn what to look for. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be the lucky person who finds the next $1,000,000 coin. Before we wrap things up, let me give you a few quick tips for coin collecting. Point 1. Always handle coins by the edges to avoid damaging the surface. Oils from your fingers can cause discoloration or corrosion over time. Point 2. Store your coins in a dry, temperature-controlled place. Use coin flips, holders, or albums to protect them. Point 3. Educate yourself. The more you learn about coins, mint marks, errors, and grading, the better your chances of spotting a valuable one. That if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We've got more videos coming your way about rare coins, coin collecting tips, and amazing stories from the world of numismatics. Drop a comment below and let us know if you've ever found a rare coin in your change. We'd love to hear your story. And who knows, maybe your coin is worth more than you think. Thanks for watching and happy hunting. Let me know if you'd like me to turn this into a downloadable script, add a voiceover guide, or include a YouTube description and tags.